Yo, Elliot, do you find it wise to strategically practice closed mindedness to help build a mental shield against evil and corruption? Or am I on the wrong track here? Even though I sense a slight wrongness in this disdainful attitude, I feel that this wrongness comes from societal programming and is thus not wrong at all, but right and true. And so I like your attitude as it relates to being open minded to closed mindedness. How strange is it that most people are closed minded about being closed minded? They're not open minded about being open minded. And that's why you have that slight sense of wrongness. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, or I'm going to dig deep into my bag of tricks here, and I'm going to blame feminism. I'm going to blame feminism and this whole idea of inclusivity, which basically means that everything should be acceptable, right? And part of the reason why I pin that on feminism, of course, is because we're living in the age of fourth wave feminism, right? And it's all about accept everything, accept no matter how much of an abomination it is. You know, pedophilia is coming. You know, cannibalism is coming. You know, all these various things that we were like years ago, we're like, whoa, slow down. There's no place for this. There's a place for it. There's a place for everybody at the table now. And I don't want to be at that table, right? And so as this idea of opening more, open borders, right? Open. And so that's a very feminine ideal, open borders, right? Inclusivity, right? When women get together, they're all included. When men get together, sometimes somebody's not included, right? Because there's hierarchy with men. But women is all, we are all in this together. They like to say that with regard to COVID. I'm like, no, we're not in this together. I'm not in this with you. You're on a whole different trip than me right now. I'm not in this with you. But it's funny about feminism in general, because it is only justified when it supports their mission, and their mission is purely Marxist. It's the ideological subversion, Marxist takeover of the West. Feminism is probably its biggest hammer. And so with that, of course, we get inclusivity. We get no, don't judge anybody or judge anything, right? When you take your judge, you know, the sword is the emblem of judgment, right? Because it's decisive. The sword cuts things off. Men must judge. Men must be judgers. We must discern. We must pull out our sword of decisiveness and discerning. Right? We got to separate truth from fiction, lies from truth, dark from light. Men carry a sword. That's why we're not inclusive. We're exclusive. Get out of here. Because we carry swords. It's very masculine to be closed-minded. And so not only do we get this fake inclusion, fake egalitarianism, because it's all based on a lie. Not only do we get that, but then we get the denigration of all masculine virtue. All masculine virtue, all masculine values are now labeled as toxic. And you use the word or the phrase closed-mindedness, right? Closed-mindedness. But there's other ways to describe closed-mindedness, right? Like discerning. For a man to be discerning means, let me not just have my mind be so open that my brain falls out. Because that's where we're at. Our mind is so open that our brain falls out. People don't think, right? Because in the name of the Lord, God, deity of inclusiveness, they forget everything else. I'm not going to go through the list, but there's certain people that's just not included in my life. I'm not interested in having those kind of people included in my life. They will only make my life a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more confusing. Why do I have to accommodate for everybody and everything? Why can't there be some things that I just don't accommodate for? And so I get you with that slight sense of wrongness, right? In this disdainful attitude. And you say disdainful, right? I didn't read your whole email, but it's not disdain, it's discern. To disdain means I don't want you in my house, right? There's certain people I don't want in my house. Do you want everybody in your house, right? I'm talking to people who are listening to this right now, and they like to tear me apart, right? We had some people make some videos of me recently, so that's why I'm kind of a little hypersensitive. Do you want everybody in your house? Anybody can come in your house and do whatever they want? No. There are certain people that don't belong in my house. You don't belong here. You have to go. Now, it doesn't mean that I disdain you, right? There are types of people, factions of people that I don't want to be around, but I respect them. Did you know that? There are certain people that I'm not interested in being around y'all. I'm not interested in being inclusive with y'all. I'm not interested in sharing anything with y'all, but I respect you. Just stay over there. That don't mean disdain. That don't mean disdain. So I don't want you to start to use words that give you a sense of, like you say, wrongness. Disdain is kind of wrong. Disdain means like I'm disgusted by you, right? There's some people, I guess there's some people I'm disgusted by. But for the most part, this whole idea of closed-mindedness, boundaries, borders, order is less about hate and more about love, right? Because do you notice, this is something from Iron John, do you notice that all great gardens, all great, like if you're gonna cultivate, right? Even if it's like fruit trees and stuff like that, right? All great gardens are walled. They're walled gardens. And the reason why gardens are walled is to keep out the pests so that you can truly give your love to what's inside the garden. Putting up boundaries, saying no, keep non-inclusiveness, keeping people on the outside, certain people outside, is an act of love for what's on the inside. My dad used to talk about this all the time. Because, I grew up just like you guys. I grew up in the same culture as you guys. I had all the same wrong thinking. I know we're all kind of getting over it now. We're growing up. But I used to have the same kind of wrong thinking. I would argue with my dad because to me, when I'm 16 years old and all I know is what I hear on Hot 97 and on cable TV. I didn't think we had cable then. I would get into these arguments with my dad, and my dad would be like, these are my dad's words. He would be like, everybody outside the fence, because we had a fence around my house. He said, I don't care about anybody out there. He says, the whole world could fall down outside my fence. I take care of what's inside my fence. That's his whole attitude. He's like, and he would use that all the time when I was a kid. He was like, is that what's happening inside this fence? Then I don't care. He said, is that coming inside my fence? Then I don't care. He don't care. So I would say what my friends are doing or what's happening out there. He would say, I don't care. And then I would get, that same like sissy indignant that like blue pill betas get, liberals. That sissy indignant, like, how dare you not love everybody, right? I used to think that way. I was such an idiot. How dare you? You don't love everybody? You don't think that everybody deserves to come into your life and to love you? And that there's some people that's supposed to be on the outside and you don't care about those people? Don't you have any compassion? I used to ask my dad, don't you have any compassion for these people? And he would say, for what? For what? I have compassion for you and for your siblings and for my wife and for my family and for the people that is in my life that I got to care for, that I'm responsible for. But I don't have enough to be responsible for and care for or even give a damn about what's going on out there. That's a part of how we've lost ourselves as a culture too, because we're paying too much attention to what's going on over there, right? Foreign relations, right? Didn't Biden just drop some bombs in Syria? What are we doing in Syria dropping bombs, right? What are we doing in 47 different countries, right? We got bases all over the place, spreading democracy, right? I love the fact that when Trump was in office, we really didn't expand our global empire, but he built up our military at home. I like that. But the globalists, they want to have their fingers in every pot. Why y'all out there? Why are we over there? What are we doing out there? Why not take care of what's at home? Make America great again. Make your family great again, right? That's really what it is. focus here. So that's right. That's right. I'm reading your comment. That's right. Now I realize that being closed-minded can also have its uses, right? It sounds paradoxical, I know, but it feels like both sides of the same coin ultimately merge. Yep. An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded, right? And you put up that fortress. Why do men build fortresses? Because love, right? Why do men build walls, boundaries, borders? Because we love what's on the inside. Think about it that way. Hope that helps, dude. Done.
Yo, it's your bro Elliot. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, you ought to know that it was a clip from one of my most recent King Transformation classes with my students, where, among other things, we get together about 4 or 5 hours a week and we speak on things as it relates to becoming kings in our lives in fitness, business, and with women. If that sounds like you and you want to join a like-minded group of men who are growing stronger every day in every way in this degenerate age, then it's real simple. Just follow me on Instagram and then DM me the word King, K-I-N-G, and then me and my team will get back to the details to see if you qualify. I really hope to see you at the next meeting. Done.